Hi, everyone. It's John Galante, president of AE Ventures, the company that produces the new Housing Transformation Summit. And I'm happy to be here today with Keith Anderson for one of our webcasts. Keith is the president of a newly formed company called On3, and he's going to give us a little bit of background on himself and the company so that you're aware of this new player in the information and education ecosystem of the home building industry. That's a really important ingredient when we're talking about transformation, because we can get the concepts at a high level agreed to by management and director level folks, but we're going to have to drive the process development and the changes in approach through the entire organization, and that's where training really comes in. So Keith, get us started with a little bit of a background, or I don't want to hear about the Packers because I'm a Bears fan, but you give me a little bit of a background on your professional experience in the building industry.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Keith Anderson. I retired from NVR as the operations manager for 15 years, and I oversaw operations throughout the country for the fourth largest home builder. Prior to that, I was with two other Fortune 500 companies in senior level positions. And so I've been in operations for over 35 years. Mm-hmm. I retired about 2 years ago, and thinking I was doing the traveling thing, I was going to do some spending time with the grandchildren and all that. Did that, but then the pandemic. And so long story short, you can't keep a type A personality down. You have to look at, I was like looking for things to do. And so Paul Curtis and myself got together, and with his technical background and with my construction background, it looked like a great fit. One of the things that bothered me as an operations manager in the construction industry was I think the project managers, when it came to training, we looked for people with experience. But at the end of the day, sometimes you don't know what they know, and sometimes bad habits come with them. And so this training program is a on-field training situation. It's all phases of construction, and it's mobile with mini modules, mini learning modules. Okay. So it's a and the response is being phenomenal. It's been amazing as far as people, builders ramping up and putting and getting the On3 program. Yeah.
So you organizationally, what's your role with On3?
So I'm president of On3, okay. And Paul Curtis is the chairman. And when we started the program, and then what we've done is we built the company up. With overseas programmers. So we have now up to 30 plus people who are always building content for us. Wow. We have over 1,200 modules. Okay. And we've been open since January.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit about the platform itself. What's unique about this? Is a learning system. What's unique about it? Why do you think it's apt for the home building industry?
I really like the mini module perspective. At the end of the day, the days of a group of people coming in and spending all week in a room and trying to go through PowerPoints, your memory retention is probably 20 to 20%, and they remember what they had for lunch that day versus what they actually learned that day. Mm-hmm. And then a whole week inside the training, I don't know if it was very productive. What I do know, though, that with these mini modules, you literally can look at exactly what you want, whatever questions you want, when you want it. It's a 24/7 learning platform, and then you have the ability to look at it and go back to it with to ensure that what you're thinking is happening is happening. I'll try to give you a real quick example.
Absolutely.
when you get a 3-week or a 3-month newbie on the field, and you're talking to a 30-year concrete guy, you literally are looking at him, and you know he's doing it wrong, but your concrete guy is going to look him in the face and say, listen, what do you know? You've just been here for 3 months. And finally, he can pull his phone out, look at it, and say, you know what? According to my company, I want you to follow these specs and in this process. And if you have a problem with it, then I can have you talk to our production manager. But at the end of the day, you're giving support to the field that never had it before, and I think that's pretty powerful.
Yeah. So mini modules. What's the time frame on a learning module when you say mini?
A learning module will be no more than 3 minutes.
Okay.
We have some that are less than a minute, just real quick. So of the 1,200, it can be very quick and concise, to the point. And then you just push the button for flashcards, and then there's a test afterwards, in which then continues to drip down.
Right. And you've got AI incorporated into the platform as well. So there's machine thinking about when should a refresh piece of education be delivered or asked about, and how do you keep key essential learnings foremost in folks' minds? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we always know who we're training based on their login. And then we also know based on, now here's how I've seen people use it, and what we're going to be setting up is with a company called 2M Consulting, and they're home inspectors. And basically we're going to tie our systems together where literally whatever they found in that home, and it will automatically go down to that project manager and start training them on the things that they missed. So if they are losing paint and drywall, all of a sudden they're going to get paint and drywall learning modules, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. So talk to me about the field utility, right? That's one of your differentiators, is that this is a micro learning platform, but it's especially suited to learning in the field and the mobile applications. Is that correct? And how so?
What's nice about this, and we also have a thing called On3 Live. If a project manager wants to get a hold of their mentor or their production manager and they have a problem, you can get, you can say FaceTime, but it's more than FaceTime. It allows you to draw on the screen. It allows you to be able to show them what the problem is. And then it also allows you to, record it while you're talking to them. And all devices talk, because right now FaceTime, Androids, and iPhones don't talk to one another. So that clears all that disruption out, and you can get access real time with your project managers as a production manager. With AI, it's imperative to understand if they're advancing through the program at their own pace. If you have to repeat a program, you can do that. At all times who's watched, who's looked at what programs, when they completed it, and what their scores were. And then what's really also nice, when you think of code changes, when you have a code change and you want to make sure everybody knows that on January 1st, here's what the new codes are, and you can see who's watched it, who's been trained on it, and then the rollout's going to be great. Now, when you look at like rolling out new product, rolling out new purchasing information, hey, listen, half your project managers don't know this is coming. And then you may want to delay rollout, or you may want to get on the phone and say, hey, let's get these completed.
One of our goals with the Housing Transformation Summit, and you've been kind enough to agree to serve on our advisory council on the structures side of things, but one of our goals is just to get innovation implemented with greater speed than has happened historically And I think, there are a lot of pieces and parts to that. One is the sales and marketing piece, right? Because like, hey, new product, that means I've got a new selling story and it's probably more expensive. So I'm going to have to sell value. It's going to run up against this roadblock of cost per square foot. So we got to be able to sell the value. So where are those assets that are going to help me sell and market something new? But the other piece is on the implementation side of things. Now there's a new set of processes, there's a new way of installing something, and how do I get the subs or whoever's doing that work in the field, quickly up to speed on what's required to implement that new product. So I think that, the platform that you're providing is a great fit for what we're trying to accomplish with housing transformation.
And it's not just the field or home builder. We are also working with manufacturers. We're working with distribution, and then we're working with installers. So it's every aspect of the supply chain.
Yeah.
And, we'll use Masonite doors, and that's we have the contract. They're rolling out new doors, and guess what? We're doing
the first ever smart door.
Well,
right?
You didn't hear it from me.
Well, we heard it from them, so that's okay.
Okay.
We're not breaking any rules or unembargoing an embargoed release. They made the announcement.
No
they
problem.
haven't shipped it, but they made the announcement.
So we did the training for them,
Yeah.
and so this is the stuff that's going to be going out to the field, and then you can say, okay, and there's a challenge on install, so we've got to make sure it's being done right.
Yeah, no, we like to talk to the manufacturers, and as you know, we cut our teeth in this industry with Tech Home Builder, and I would constantly lecture the vendor base in that universe of products about coming at builders in pieces and parts, and just talking about features, benefits, advantages of their product and their small slice of an overall solution. But total offer is so important for the vendor, right? It's not just the product, it's the support on the sales and marketing side, it's the support on the production and design side of things. So if assets and services are cooked alongside of that new product, now we got a way to sell the builder on it and for the builder to sell through and put it in efficiently. So I think you guys are an important piece of the equation. So you've got modules out there in the field now. You've got existing customers either at the manufacturer, builder, or subcontractor level. Tell us a little bit about the early customer base and what they're experiencing.
We have all aspects of the building market. We got the people from the top 5. We have people from the pretty much top 100, and we got your small mom and pop.
Yeah.
And so it's a license arrangement. So we charge by how many users the builder has. They have since January, we have over 150 builders, and we anticipate being pretty much over 600 hopefully by the end of the year. And that'd be close to 7,000 licenses.
That's some crazy growth. I'm amazed that you have 15 minutes to talk to me. It sounds like you felt like one of the pain points was really on the production set of processes and that set of folks. Builders try to actually do as little as possible, but they're overseeing a lot. So how does it flow through from the builder to the subs that are actually doing the work? Because that's where you want this training around what's the right way to do that product. Are they imposing this on the subs? Is there a collaboration with the subs on the learning platform? I'm interested in what the arrangement is. What's the deal on that?
Well, you got to get to the principle of the sub, understand what we're trying to achieve here, and that we're partners, because obviously you want your people to have to do it right the first time.
Yeah.
And so then what we'll do is they did have tool time talk, before they start the day, they'd have 10 minutes, so they can pull the phones out and look at the video and maybe have a talk about what's, a topic every day, before they start their day.
Yeah.
And it's like right in the house itself.
Yeah, but for your big builders, a lot of this is the training itself is pushed through to the subs, correct? For the work on the framing, foundation, other, elements of the construction process?
That's the goal. I mean,
Okay.
that's where ultimately the goal is. Now, a lot of the builders
Okay.
will have their own L&D, learning and development programs.
Yeah,
So they, but they never get to the subs.
yeah.
They, so that's always this is going to be able to do that.
You know who else needs training and they need it all the time and to be refreshed? Are salespeople. So are we going to get there with this platform as well? And do you think the micro learning modules are going to make some of the fundamentals stick? And are we really going to be able to take innovative products that have a new value proposition for the consumer, or have something special inside of them or about them that needs to be explained? Are we going to be able to do a better job of training the sellers on that so that they can sell value and not just take orders?
Yeah, this is imperative for the next step of On3. We're going to get acclimated to the field, and then we have teamed up with Mike Moore, who is a keynote speaker for salespeople in the home building industry, and he's going to he's set up a series, and we're going to be putting his product on our On3 platform, and so you can start looking at sales training. Chip Brady is for customer service, because I believe our service departments need help with how to deal with the customer or warranty issues. So yes, it's going to hit all aspects of the home building construction industry.
Very cool. Well, I think we've covered a good amount of ground, and I know you got crazy growth to tend to, and I don't want to take any more of your time, but any key point or two that you want to leave builders with about On3 and the platform?
A couple of things. We have the ability to go 62 languages. So, you can deal with the Portuguese framers. We can deal with the Korean flooring guys. We can deal with whoever you have in there and be able to accommodate their language. The ease of implementation is amazing. And I think it's something that you should at least see the demo and look at it and make that determination. But we wanted to make this simple.
Yeah.
So I'm excited of what the future brings.
And what's the website?
It's on3.ai.
All right. Keith, thanks so much for getting us up to speed on this, for all of your stage work and getting your environment right for our recording. I am disappointed that the Hornig jersey did not come down, but we'll live with that. We won't black it out in the post-production. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time with a Housing Transformation Summit webcast. Thanks.